Dolphins and the Rams playing on Monday night. Tua Tagovailoa getting out there trying to turn things around for this Dolphins team. Here's the Dolphins opening drive. 1st and 10 from the Rams 18. Malik Washington gets the toss in motion, sprints past that Rams defense.
A great opening drive for Miami's offense. Anything they needed, they got, and it was an outstanding start for them.
Here's Matthew Stafford trying to get something going, intercepted by Anthony Walker Jr.
Calais Campbell gets his hand on the ball. The Miami Dolphins defense was the story of the night.
Second quarter, Dolphins now up 10-0. 2nd and 15 from their own 32, and Tagovailoa intercepted right there. Look at the Rose Boom running it back. Tagovailoa attempting to make the tackle.
Yeah, can everyone relax about Tua to go and make the tackle? He's got to go make a tackle, guys. He's playing football, guys. He's not leading with his head. He tries to get out of the way. It's going to happen.
Relax. Dolphins lead 10-6 going into halftime. Third quarter, the same score. Dolphins 3rd and 3 from the Rams 34. Tagovailoa to Jonnu Smith. Smith is able to get past, keeps running all the way to the 1-yard line. I thought he was going in.
I thought the Rams defensively, second and third levels, backers and safeties did not tackle well, and that showed up. A little ball fake, Tyreek, easy touchdown.
The Dolphins win 23-15. Mina Kimes called that here on NFL Live. She was right. The rest of us were wrong. I like to keep everybody accountable, including myself. Dolphins defense put together their best game of the season on Monday, allowing no touchdowns, a season high 4 sacks. And it was just their second game of the season with multiple takeaways. Marcus, what'd you like from that defensive unit last night on the Miami side?
Disruption. That was the theme of the night for me, disruption. The Miami Dolphins defensive line, the interior, the pressure that they brought, and answering in critical situations, especially in response to turnovers. I thought they did a phenomenal job up front. And if this team is going to play like this on defense, they got a chance to finish this season in a very strong way. But you look at Calais Campbell here, using that big physical presence in the center of the pocket. Matthew Stafford was uncomfortable all night. You could see it on some of his throws. And this was the response when you start talking about getting that fumble back and getting the ball back to your offense. Look, Dan said something at the beginning of this. He said the Miami defense was the story of the game. If the Rams would have won, the Rams defense would have been the story of the game. I thought both of these units brought a lot to the table. This is the best that I've seen Miami play up front in a minute, and having Zach Seiler back cannot go unmentioned. He changed, I think, what this defensive line has the ability to do, and they benefited from it.
Yeah, so on early downs, the second level of Miami's defense, their linebackers just beat the Rams to the point. And then that allowed Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator for Miami, candidly to outcoach Sean McVay in those passing situations. I love some of the stuff he did. So 4-man front. Now look at the difference. The defensive end up top, hand in the dirt, defensive end down below. He's standing up, so there's a little bit of a tell, but they blitz the backer with keeping 7 in coverage, okay? There's that Tampa 2 coverage, safeties half, middle run through, hook defenders. But the reality is that backer is the responsibility of the offensive line, but they lost sight of him. He goes unblocked, but it forces that short throw with plenty of guys in coverage to go tackle. Now the simulated front, 6 guys up at the line of scrimmage. Marcus, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. That umbrella coverage as an offense, like who's coming, who's not. Defensive end drops. They wrap Agba from one side all the way to the other. They double team up top, so it's 2 over 1, then it's 4 over 3. And then as the quarterback, I think Matthew kind of walks into a sack here because he feels that pressure, even though it's protected decently well, because that simulation of I got to get the ball out of my hands. This is one of my favorite ones of the night. Marcus, there's that front again. 3 on the right, 3 on the left. Now watch what the Rams do. They take their right guard, center, left guard. They go all the way to the left. Now the right tackle is blocking 2. The back has absolutely no idea who to block, and you are left with 3 or 4 guys blocking absolutely nobody. I thought Anthony Weaver, coming from that Baltimore tree, I think he is like the star of the night when it comes to the performance in the X's and O's coaching-wise.
That's the defense, but how about the offense for the Dolphins? How were they able to get it done?
When they needed to, they executed. Not only in execution, but design, their detail, and making sure that the play fitted. That's what's special about the Dolphins when they're playing well with Mike McDaniel. So you look on the reverse here, you're going to see a bin block by the tight end, a pull from the right guard to kick out. To that defense, this all says run, right? You're going to leave the DN by himself. You're going to have the center pulling. And now look at the wide receiver. You're going to have a push crack. And what that means is the moment the corner gives a demeanor like he is not coming aggressively, you go get the better tackler and the safety. The center redirects and reads the receiver, opening up that hole. You leave the DN and the backside safety for the ball carrier, and it turns into 6 for Malik Washington, which is great. Again, design, but also the detail of how the play comes together is what's special in Miami.
Love it.
Hey, you love to see that. Something you may not love to see, this new on NFL Live, if you're a Dolphins fan, Mike McDaniel announcing that they are going to be without Austin Jackson. He's expected to miss the remainder of the season with a knee injury. Dan's kind of shrugging. He'll undergo surgery. All right, so maybe not as important, but you don't love it, right, for that O-line.
Tua gets the ball out. I don't love it, no, but I trust Tua and Mike.
We're going to talk to some news around the NFL, starting with Aaron Rodgers. He joined the Pat McAfee Show today.
You got to hold on to that beautiful thing in life called hope. And that's just that there's a chance. You know, we're not mathematically eliminated. There's a lot to play for. At the end of the day, you know, one thing that we can play for, whether we're 10-0 or 3-7, is pride. You know, pride in your performance, pride in the product you're putting on the field, not wanting to let your coaches down, your teammates down, the guys in the locker room, the men and women that you see every day at work. There's got to be pride in that.
All right, Marcus, why is that offense not working right now?
Well, the offense sucked. I mean, Dan been telling you that all season. They stand in one spot, they line up in one spot, and nothing changes. But now, and I told you guys when we were sitting in that studio in New York, Devontae Adams should run as far away from the New York Jets as he possibly could. And now it's starting to take place. Now he's getting force-fed because Aaron knows that this offense is bad. The offensive coordinator has no control over Aaron Rodgers, and now he thinks that Devontae Adams can fix it by winning matchups and winning man-to-man. 13 passes to him. And you got another number one wide receiver that was supposed to be the up-and-coming bud and star across the way from Devontae Adams, who's barely getting looks throughout the game. It's a terrible situation.
I feel bad for Garrett Wilson. Let's go to the team that beat the Jets on Sunday. Kyler Murray has a 76 total QBR this season, 1 point behind Lamar Jackson for the NFL lead. It's on track to be 13 points better than Murray's career high. He posted a 63 QBR back in 2021. That was the last year he made the Pro Bowl. Hawk, what'd you like about Kyler's performance on Sunday?
I mean, everything. You know, I mean, his decision-making was top tier. He was in tune with his body, in tune with his feet. He wasn't getting bored making the right decision, which allowed the big plays to come to him. And more importantly than anything, his ball placement is truly next level. He threw a seam, a tight window seam in McBride that was beautiful.
Yeah, he did.
The stomp route to Marvin Harrison Jr. was like, there's no better place to put that ball. When you thought about Kyler Murray coming into the league and what he would be capable of, what his ceiling looked like, this is it.
Man, he's healthy too. All right, let's go to Buffalo, where Josh Allen threw 12 touchdowns to go along with 0 interceptions in his first 7 games of the season. He's regressed in his last 3 games, throwing 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. It's tied for the 3rd most in the NFL since Week 8. Dan, you concerned with Allen?
I'm not, but the decision-making hasn't been as crisp as it was, and I think a little bit of some of the different play passes that they're getting into. So 6 offensive linemen, we know that they love this in Buffalo, play-action pass, okay? Now, they're going to take that wide receiver up top and insert him, and I think it takes too long for that crosser to get over there. Now, watch Josh at the top of his drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, almost 5 hitches. Now, that ball looks ridiculously underthrown. There's a little bit of pressure from that left side, but I think it takes so long to happen. This is inexcusable. Just a sprint out. Hawk knows this is his smash. Hitch in a corner. Kenny Moore sprinting to the hitch. Don't throw that ball. You're only calling that play to get 5 yards, 6 yards, and I think the decision-making needs to get just ratcheted down just a blink like it was at the beginning of this season to make sure there's really clear decisions for Josh.
I love the real time when Dan's trying to find a word.
I just don't know sometimes which ones to use.
Which one am I going to use here? Listen, we all do that, actually, to be totally honest. Wrench it. That's Marcus finding the word. All right.